Hi guys, welcome back to 14s because we are 14s and this podcast is 14s. I'm Gloria.
I'm Isabella.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Haley. And today we're going to be talking about realities of growing up. This is the third episode in our realities series, and it's going to be great.
I'm so excited.
That's so depressing.
I know.
Yeah.
It's going to make me sad. Okay. Who wants to start with their first reality?
I'll start. Okay, so when you're little, you think that homework's gonna be like fun. Homework's not fun. The reality of growing up is that all you do is you sit in your bed and you do homework and you drink iced coffee and you become depressed. The end.
Isabella and I were talking about that because I was like, I always thought we were going to like make volcanoes and dioramas of like the solar system, but like we just answer questions like instead of on a sheet of paper, we just do it on Canvas. Like it's not all it's cracked up to be.
I used to give myself fake homework as a kid. Like I had this little Dora. I think it was like coloring. I don't even really remember. Like drawing. It taught you how to draw certain things in Dora, and I would pretend it was homework because I wanted homework. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so quirky. I'm so cool. Now I have.
That's weird.
I wish I was drawing Dora in boots. Have you met me though? Like that's something I would do as a kid.
No, like I pretended to have homework. I would like take my parents' old binders and I would just highlight things for fun. Like
I did not do any of this stuff. Y'all really like to learn.
Yeah, I used to love to learn. Now I'll pass. That's okay. I've learned enough.
Yeah.
My capacity for learning has been reached. Okay. Gloria, you're next on my screen.
You don't really get more freedom. You just get more responsibilities. Like, I mean, I guess I can go to the mall with my friends without my parents. But when I was like 8, I didn't want to. So I don't know if that's like a freedom I wanted. And like, we still can't drive. Like, you can't really drive to the end of your high schoolness. Because like 16, some people wait a little bit. So 17-ish, like that's halfway through pretty much. Like, so yeah, you don't get like that much. I don't know. There's not any like, no when you like turned, you had like your 13th birthday, and you're like, what can I do now that I'm 30? Nothing. Like you gained no more like anything. I don't know. I just guess as a kid, I thought the second I turned a teenager, I would have my friends over every day, and we'd have like study sessions. I don't know why homework was such a big thing, but like in TV, like and Good Luck Charlie, like Ivy was always at Teddy's house.
Yeah.
And like I just thought that's how life was gonna be. And my room was gonna be like filled with pictures of my friends, and like basically my walls would be scrapbooks. This is untrue.
Yeah. Like it's just yeah.
All right, I'll go next. If nobody else had this is gonna sound really weird, but did you like imagine what you would feel like walking through your high school hallways or sitting at your desk doing homework? Again, homework is the big thing. Or driving for the first time or whatever. Like all those things that you imagined how they would feel and you got excited for them.
Yeah. You get excited for all the stuff.
Yeah.
And then what, like I do those things. Like I've driven, I have my permit. I've walked through high school hallways. I've sat at my desk and done homework in the exact how I pictured it, but it feels completely different from how I pictured it. It like doesn't feel, it felt, when you were thinking of it, you were like, oh, this is different. This would be exciting. But when you're doing it every day, it doesn't feel different or exciting. It just feels like you're doing it. And there's no, like, you're in high school now, you sit at your desk and do homework. Like that happened in junior high too, and intermediate. You know, you kind of worked up to it. So it doesn't feel like I thought it was going to.
Yeah, I get that. I'm doing homework right now and it's not fun. I'm looking at a foldable of the different types of writing and poetic devices. And then I have to go through a book that's not a poetry book and find the poetic devices. Like that's not
I'm deciding what genes everyone's children would have based on if they're homozygous or heterozygous.
I'm looking through World War II notes. Okay, we're gonna come back to Haley because she had to leave the room for a second. Isabel, would you like to go?
A reality of growing up is that everything you found fun when you're a kid is no longer fun. Like,
This is true.
like everything that you found fun from the ages of like 0 to 10 is no longer fun. Like I loved reading. I only really like reading now whenever I get to choose what I read. And
It's
even
not
then,
true at all.
and like I really used to love like hanging out with my family. I hated it. I really used to love going on, like going on bike rides with like my brother. It's like a chore now. Like everything that I found fun when I'm offered to do those things now feels like an obligation. Whenever I babysit, like I used to love playing with dolls. And now whenever I babysit, the last thing I want to do is play with dolls. Everything you found once fun is no longer fun.
This is a horrible episode.
I know this is a really sad episode, but it's like kind of good to shed some light on it, I guess, because it doesn't get talked about a lot. Haley, you're back now. Do you want to go ahead and do your advice or your note?
Well, I was gonna say, like, when we're kids, we try our best to stop being kids so fast because we want everybody to think we're like so big and we're so grown or whatever, but it's not really worth it.
It really isn't.
Obviously, like, playing with homework as a kid is fine because you're like still having fun. But like, my gosh, don't take those like little festivals and like field days at school for granted because you're gonna be so like missing them when you're 15 or whatever, like doing normal homework. Like we don't have fun days at school. Like we don't.
Yeah, no.
There's not a day where all like the teachers collectively decided we're not doing school and you're gonna do this. Like no. We don't get like 100 school day. Like no, you go to school every day. You do your thing. Unless there's a fire drill, your butt will be in that seat.
Reality of growing up is that you don't realize that you're not going to have recess. Like that part, I didn't even really comprehend. Like I didn't notice when that got taken out of my life. Really, I wasn't sitting in junior high on the first day like, oh, this is good. I'm not going to recess. Like we just didn't. It wasn't in our schedule, and it didn't feel weird. It just felt like normal for junior high. But thinking back on it, there were days when I had a half an hour and like they would extend recess if it was nice out. Like, what? That's so foreign to me now. That's so strange that teachers would just postpone their math class to like just take you to recess for longer. Or like you would get 2.
Yeah, or like if it was a really nice day out and like the Wi-Fi wasn't working at school or something, so then like they couldn't project on like their projector. I remember in what was it, 6th grade, my math teacher, like for some reason, like their like lesson like wouldn't load. So he was like, well, let's go to recess. I hated recess when I was a kid. And now I like miss it because I just you don't get
And then there was like the 2 months of indoor recess because it was too cold to go out. That sucked.
My 6th grade indoor recess was so fun.
I loved indoor
I
because I hated outdoor recess because I was that kid that would just like
I just walked around and talked like fifth and 6th grade.
Yeah, me too.
We played infection.
But also, thing about big switching back is like the rule at our school is like 15 degrees and under you can't go out. So one day it'd be 20 degrees and the teachers would be like, y'all, we can go out. And I'd be like, no. Like I didn't like indoor recess, but I'd rather not freeze my tail off. So like the second we could, they made us go back outside. And I was like,
You know.
I hated it.
So recess is something that just gets abruptly taken out of your life and you don't even realize it. I remembered when they were short in 5th and 6th grade. I noticed that more than I noticed not having it.
They like tried to wean us off of recess by like having like 30-minute recess, and then like in like 5th and 6th grade they were like 15-minute recesses, and then like in 7th grade you're required to take gym, and that's every day. So you kind of get that like same level of like playing. But
Yours was short.
Yeah, in 5th and 6th grade we only had like a 15-minute recess, and depending on when you got released from
No,
lunch,
ours
it
was
could be
still
like 10
30.
minutes.
Lucky.
Ours was still 30.
I mean, in 6th grade we were the last lunch, so we got extra Fridays.
So you could, they had like 2 calls. So you could leave 5 minutes earlier, you could stay in lunch for 5 more minutes, and then you either got 10 or 15 minutes of recess, depending on when you left lunch.
I always stayed for the second call because I hated recess so much. And now looking back on it, I wish that I went on the first call. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Y'all, we like lunch and recess weren't attached.
No, yeah, no, lunch and recess.
Oh yeah, they were the same for us.
Even in elementary
No,
school,
like
lunch and recess were
you
attached.
got a lunch time and you got a recess time. Like it was just
No, we had a morning recess, a lunch recess, and an afternoon recess.
What is
Right.
this?
what
In the morning before we got to school, we would like check in with our classroom, and if it was nice, we'd go to recess. And then,
Haley never learned.
yeah, I don't really know what I learned at grammar school.
I googled the answer and it's not even an option. What?
Kids grow up and think that they're gonna become like princesses. It's like, no, you not. I mean, you can grow up and have like the same princess mentality, but at the same time, I feel like, I guess princess can be whimsical, but I feel like this should be set as from a young age as something you can't be.
I love that. Princess mentality. Guys, let's all have a princess mentality. That seems like a good thing to have.
Sure.
Okay, if we ever like make things, it needs to be astronauts are real and princess mentality. Isabella.
Oh, sorry. Once again, doing homework because the grind never stops. Oh, that's what this is. The grind never stops. You get a notification from Canvas that something is graded, you check it right away. Like there is no, because like in elementary, literally in elementary and like 5th and 6th grade, right? Like you didn't know what your grades were unless you got the paper back. Like you did not have access to Skyward in fifth and 6th grade and like in elementary school. Like for those of you that don't live in a district like ours, we have elementary school, intermediate school, junior high, then high school. So intermediate school is like 5 through 6. So it's like upper elementary. So you like are
Yeah, so our elementary doesn't have 5th and our junior high doesn't have 6th.
Yeah.
They created their own school.
Yeah, true. And your grades are just constantly looming over you. And even if your parents don't put a bunch of like pressure on grades like mine, there's still pressure there. And it's just really annoying.
Mm-hmm. I swear it's
Plus.
when there's a big assignment that's waiting to be graded, you're checking Skyward, which is our grading platform where we get our grades virtually. You're checking it every 5 minutes.
When you grow up, you aren't going to feel the same way towards your parents, and it's not like 100% negative, but there's just a different thing there. Like they start to like tell you more stuff, so you're not just thinking like, oh, my parents a superhero, like they did that. Like there's now new information that you know that I guess like changes things. Also, you've like gained good friends, so like you'd rather hang out with someone, your friend, who you can tell everything to, than your parent who can like ground you, you know.
Yeah. Then they get upset when you don't tell them everything.
And like it's usually not like the dramatic TV, I hate you, mom, running up to your room. It's usually more of like, ugh, you just go to your room.
Mm-hmm.
You might think you will not, but I swear, like no one skips the stage. It's like a full-on thing. I swear it's like neurological.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. Like we as teenagers aren't supposed to like our parents. Like right now, we are not supposed to like our parents.
We've just known them too long. Like I can't be around the same person every day, and family is what that is.
I'm so confused how we're supposed to find people, or we've only lived 15 years and there's not a friend I've had for 15 years. So I don't know how I'm supposed to be friends with the same people or have family member for like 60 years. What?
Okay, this is my thing, right? How am I supposed to find someone that I want to spend the rest of my life with? You know how long that is? How are people finding the love of their lives in high school? How are people finding the person that they're going to marry in high school? Like my parents met each other in college and they've been together. They've been married for like 18, but together for like 21 years or something. That is such a long time to be with someone. I would get bored. I would get bored.
Then marriage isn't for you. You don't have to get married.
It's true. But also, it's just funny because I've never had a friend group last for more than like 4 years. And that
That's
seems like a
because
really short
teenagers are
time.
petty.
What?
That's because teenagers are petty.
Yeah, my
When
friend
you're
groups have always turned really dramatic. I'm not even gonna lie.
That's what I'm saying. When you're an adult, you just like kind of say there's not really friend groups when you're an adult. Like it might be like
Yeah,
the
that's
neighborhood
sad.
moms.
Like I don't
Because like,
know any adults that like talk to their friend every
in
day.
every friend group, there's people who feel certain ways towards other people. And like I feel like adults have a harder time with that because if they like break up with their friend or whatever, the school doesn't know. Like they now have no one to sit with at lunch. Like they have their own lives. So like adults will stop being friends or whatever. Plus, like it's hard to have a friend group as an adult because you have to all be available with each other, you know?
Yeah.
It's easy to have like your parents to have individual friends that they can hang out with instead of getting everybody's child's soccer schedule on the
Also,
same
Mom
thing.
when
also
they like
friends
don't
with-
want the children there, that makes it difficult because then they all gotta find babysitters.
Oh yeah, but then the oldest child of all the moms ends up being the babysitter.
Right
Wow.
here. Hello.
Right here.
My parents don't have friends. And like my mom's best friend is 1 year younger than me and a year older than my brother. So we've always just hung out. Like I was never the babysitter because he was my age.
Mhm. Oh yeah, no. So my parents' friend group, like my parents have a friend group. They don't hang out that often, but when they do, it's great. But I'm my parents had kids first, so like I'm the oldest, then my brother, then everyone else, right?
Same. That's how it is in my family as
The
well.
oldest is me, 15, and then the youngest is 3.5. So like I'm just watching everybody. I'm watching everybody's kids. They all got
Yeah,
two.
the youngest is like 2, I think, in my parents' friend group.
My parents don't have
So in the like American Girl books or just you get
oh
told
no.
I know you're like
No.
there's like, okay, well from the ages of you'll go through a phase and you keep thinking you're in the phase and you're not. And then you get in the phase and you're like,
I
oh.
never read the American Girl book.
So the phase of like mood swings and that kind of stuff, you're like, oh, maybe I just don't have one. Maybe I'm just perfect. Like maybe there's just, it's not no, it happens. You just wait.
Give us some time.
Give it a second, it'll happen.
A little minute.
Nobody skips the phase, so just
So if
don't
you've
think
ever
it's
read the American Girl book, you know the page that I'm talking about.
If you haven't, highly recommend.
You know the page that I'm talking about. And you look at that page. I maybe read this when I was like 10. I looked at that page and I was like, I think I'm right there. No, sweetie. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. I really hope that like listeners are understanding what
I
I'm
know
saying.
what you're talking about.
What page?
Anyway, you will reach the phase. If you think you're gonna skip the phase, stop kidding yourself. You will get grumpy and moody and annoyed with the world. Just wait. Haley's turn.
I know we talked about this already, but the things you find like when you're a kid to not be fun anymore, like don't take that as they can't be fun because you're older kind of thing. Like if you want to collect dolls or you want to collect stamps or read books in the rain or play with chalk or ride your bike somewhere random or whatever we did when we were kids, then do that. Don't say, oh, I can't, I'm too old for that. If you want to go play at the park with your friends, go play at the park with your friends. Like, don't say that you're too old to do things because someday you'll actually be too old to do them.
Yeah, like I always thought I was like, oh, I'm in 7th grade, I'm too old for no, you weren't. Now, yes, no, you weren't. Probably not even. I probably could still be doing.
I remember over quarantine, like I just like got in touch with like my younger self. Like I watched a lot of kids shows. Like I literally went through a Sophia the First phase in
I
quarantine.
am currently watching Romeo and Juliet. Don't come at it.
Yeah, I mean like as you should. I wanted to play with chalk so badly. Like,
Should
I
have.
hate the
Chalk isn't
feeling of
even
chalk.
kiddish. I still do. Like I'll still make chalk.
I will have chalk if you give me rubber gloves. I can't touch it. It's terrible.
Yeah, I don't play with chalk.
I'll play with chalk with you, Isabella.
okay, good. Someone has to. Okay. How do I say this? When you're a kid, you're always like looking up to like older people and you're like, oh my God, I want to be them. Like, they are so cool. Okay, no, they're not. Like, we are the older people now, and no, we're not. Like, we are not as cool as we think.
I swear we're smaller than all the other freshmen, like before
Right?
us.
I know. We thought they were so big.
I still feel like an 8th grader.
Yeah, I don't feel any different except I say the word like I am in high school.
Yeah. So like, you're never gonna feel as big as you actually are.
Yeah, that's true. You're never gonna feel like the age you thought you would. Hold on. This is a feeling, and I think other people realize it, but I just need to word it correctly. So you're never gonna feel as old as you thought you were gonna feel when you were younger. How you were gonna feel when you were
You will never feel the same way at an age that society has taught you to feel.
Yeah. Like I thought
Like,
I was
obviously-
so old when I was a freshman in high school. I feel the same as I did when I was 6. Like I feel the same. You feel the same. Does that make
I
sense?
just feel more important when I walk into the high school than when I walked into kindergarten.
I felt more important in kindergarten.
I mean, honestly, no, you walk into kindergarten with some sort of sense of self. You're just like, oh my God. bleh.
I meant elementary school, like I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Here's the real fun conversation that I'm gonna have to say without getting flagged.
Okay, puberté. It's gonna happen as a person who like this is the real TMI. Welcome to the podcast, I guess. People are gonna like, have boobs in 7th grade, and you're gonna be like, what? Not 7th grade, 4th grade. You're gonna be like, what the heck? And like, it's just not even for everyone. So don't like freak out or like stuff your bra or like do anything weird like that. Like just go with it. Your body go look the way it looks, and either not like you'll look bad, but like societally you'll either look bad in 5th grade when you haven't developed as much, or you're gonna look bad when you're 82 and everyone else's tetas are at the floor. So there's pros and cons to everything. Don't beat yourself up about it.
Podcast shotties, I've made a grave error. I don't know how we will ever recover from this.
This is so dramatic. I keep losing my math problem. There are too many math problems on the paper.
Okay, now who's being dramatic?
I stated a fact. I get to go to the store, so I don't know what I'm gonna eat. So
Hey, podcast
Well,
shotties, I didn't press record. I'm so sorry.
they don't love you.
Nobody ever should after this.
I don't
I'd
even
rather say that.
remember what I'm supposed to say.
Yeah, I don't remember anything I said.
I can't either.
Okay, realities of forgetting to film your podcast.
All the fun inside jokes.
Oh, we can still talk
Oh.
about the whale dream. That was funny.
What?
At the very end and not relevant
Yeah.
to the entire podcast.
Okay, it's fine.
All the talk about the cabaret and the
Fine, we'll do
fish.
it.
Oh, the fish.
No, not the fish. Okay, we'll get back to the fish. That'll be your last piece of advice. We'll do the fish. We're gonna recreate to the best of our ability what we said.
This is horrible.
That slipped my mind.
I have never felt more pain in my soul.
No.
Would say the same, but I don't have one.
I think mine's just hunger.
Shut up. I'm not in the mood to hear about your lack or miss of soul.
We talked about it at church.
Oh my god.
It was very
What
funny.
did you just say? You talked about a lack of a soul at church.
Mhm.
Doesn't that go against everything that church is?
No.
Church has nothing to do with the soul.
Yeah, it does. I
I don't
have
think
the
souls
content of the soul. They're just not kept in a soul-shaped container.
That's the dumbest thing. That's like saying you have sand, but it's not
Is
in
it
a
just a
bucket instead of
Ziploc container?
plastic bag.
So yeah, you don't have a bucket of sand. You got a bag of sand. I don't have the contents of the soul. I have the contents of the soul, just not the soul.
What?
That's the dumbest thing.
What?
Also, I don't believe souls exist.
Okay. Well, not why? Why?
Because what is it?
What?
It's not
That's exactly what it is. It's nothing. It's who. It makes up who you are. You can't see. You
Who
can't feel.
you
You can't
are
touch
is
it.
your brain. We are all just a brain.
Okay. Shush. She's such a. What is it called? What is it called again?
Pessimist?
Pessimist.
That's not pessimistic. I didn't
Yes,
say
it
we were.
is. The fact that you don't believe in a soul.
That's
Have you ever
not
seen the movie Haunted Mansion?
lie to you.
How?
The fact
I
that
think
you're
we're-
religious and you don't believe in a soul, like that literally contradicts each other.
Yeah.
I don't think like I have a ghost white thing in my body. Like I think
The
I have.
Holy Spirit
The
is
soul
literally a
isn't visible.
soul.
Maybe she.
I don't understand like where it goes, what it is, what it contains.
It's not supposed to. It's not like a.
All right. Next Zoom
not-
hangout, we're watching Haunted Mansion.
It's
That way we
just
can
as
give
much
Gloria
soul.
the rundown of what a
Patricia,
soul
It's
is.
not a soul is not a tangible thing. It's an idea.
Well, then
Yeah.
I'm fine with the idea, but I
And
don't
it makes
think a
up
soul
exactly who
physically
you
exists.
are.
That's just like your personality. Why does it have to be a soul?
No.
No, it's like your moral and your connection.
It's your complete,
You know where
like,
all of
deep.
you know where all of that is? Your brain.
Oh my God.
An atheist right now, and you are like not an
Dude.
atheist.
I don't
Okay.
even know my religion, and I believe that there's souls.
I don't get like how to believe in Jesus, you have to believe in a soul.
Because your soul goes to heaven or
That's
hell.
like what you were created with, in theory.
I don't
Miss
think that.
Ma'am,
It's like
the basis of the religion.
Yeah.
Keep your soul clean.
no.
I don't like his soul.
It is well with my soul. I feel like such a hypocrite singing that song. Okay.
You
So,
need to shut up.
Gloria, you were talking about 84-year-olds and puberty.
I have redone this so many times.
Twice.
Well, I said it like as the meeting was ending, and then the next one I had to say it. Now I'm saying it again.
All right, thrice.
So
Right.
don't feel bad. Don't feel gross because it's weirder if you pretend to be something you're not. So just be yourself.
I agree.
I'm gonna Google proof that souls exist.
I feel like somebody saw them on X-ray once.
No,
Girl,
what?
X-rays are just black blobs. I could not tell what anything is on an X-ray.
Well, if Cambridge University has an article about it, I feel like maybe we should trust it a little bit more.
I
Yeah,
don't.
it does.
Oh, don't read the next line.
If Cambridge, okay, if you can use Cambridge University to prove your theory, I can prove mine.
Okay, this is not the point of the episode.
It's
We
important to
already
note that
made
the
the
soul
episode.
is not merely the mind. Although soul believers may equate souls with minds, one can
Soul
believe in
believers,
minds
I am
without
just
believing in
not one of them.
souls. For example, one might believe that the mental activity occurs within the mind and even think of the mind as something other than the brain, but also maintain that all mental activity is dependent on brain activity. Belief in the soul, however, as it is classically conceived, requires one to believe that the house's mental activity is separable from the brain, that it can continue on without the brain. Unlike belief in souls, belief in the existence of minds is still the norm in most academic circles. Gloria, you're not an academic scholar. I
Okay,
want to
this and
hear
other
that.
experiments tell us that unobserved particles exist as waves of probability.
Literally, souls.
Y'all can believe in all the souls you want.
This is cool.
So, when you're a kid and you're little, oh, I said this one. When you're a kid and you're little, you constantly want to grow up too fast, or like make sure people know that you're bigger. And it's kind of like
don't grow up so fast. You don't need to grow up so fast. It's not worth it. It's really not.
Gloria was talking about the like physical maturity of somebody, right? Like puberty, right? Okay, it's the same for mental maturity. You're gonna be around people that are not as mature as you, and you're just gonna have to learn to live with that. It's really annoying because you feel like you're the most mature people on the planet, but like you're not. And like there's just gonna be people that are just mentally not as mature as you, and like that sucks, but it's just the truth.
There are insecurities that you will not like think of or like have on your own, but people will say something which will like instantly create like a new insecurity, and they're natural and they're gonna happen. So most things they say aren't gonna prevent that, but don't take it too to heart, because when you're looking at someone, unless you like hate the person, because like do be finding flaws in people we don't like, but like I'm never like their eye is smaller than their other one, or like their left side of their lip is more crooked. Like the things I think about myself when I look in the mirror, I don't think about other people. And like I'm not gonna lie to you, there are like blatantly obvious things. Like if you have a scar across your face, okay, someone's gonna notice, but like doesn't make you bad or ugly or any of the above or whatever like that. Like you're still good. Like you're vibing.
Yeah, for real.
So getting ahead, excuse me, and getting ahead in life starts so early. It starts as early as your parents reading you a book when you are 6 months.
The womb, literally in the womb. It's freaking insane.
Starts in the womb, and also your genes are created. You know, as soon as you become a zygote, some of your mental capacity is already determined. So it starts so early, and then ever after that, kindergarten is very important. Preschool is important to kindergarten too, but those kind of go together. And then first grade, some schools start reach classes or advanced classes that early, and it kind of sets the tone for the rest of your school career and therefore your college and your career. Everything starts so early, and as a first grader, you don't realize that anything you're doing then is going to affect anything you're doing down the road, but it kind of does. And also, that's not even like the individual person doing that. Some of it is based on the system of if your school offers advanced classes or who the other kids in your classes are, and did you have a good teacher. So much of it isn't in your control, but it's still going to affect you when you're a sophomore in high school, you know.
Yeah.
I went the first time we filmed this, I went on a whole rant about how advanced classes are unfair, but I will not do that this time because my conscience has been cleared.
She got the rant out.
Yes.
Off the shoulders, doesn't need to say it anymore. But it was weird, yeah. I think we talked about like I've skipped, like I never learned first grade math, and they convinced me that it's okay. But I'm not good at percents because I never learned sixth grade, you know. So it's just weird.
It's weird because like it's all about your test scores. Literally, like your actual academic ability, nothing to do with it. It's all about how you test, and it sucks, but that's the truth.
I know. And some of it they don't base on like what you've learned in the past, but they base on how quickly you learn new information, which is interesting. I think that's a better way of doing it because if you're a fast learner, you can kind of apply that to most things. If you're just a good test taker, that's not really going to serve you well in the workforce, you know.
Now's when a time where it goes along with the growing up thing, but kids think they're like too old to be doing something. If you want to play with chalk or read books in the rain or build forts and you're 15 or 16.
If you're reading a book in the rain, I would recommend having an umbrella so that way the book doesn't get wet.
Yeah.
I recommend just not reading books in the rain. That sounds so uncomfortable.
I want to do that.
Peaceful. Lauren
I think
and I will read
reading
books
a
the
book-
next time it rains.
I think reading a book while it's raining sounds fun, but not in the rain. Under a covered porch sounds
I mean,
fun.
outside.
Isabella also said she wanted to play with chalk in the last time we filmed this, and I said I'd play with chalk with her. Chalk isn't even childish, honestly.
It just feels weird.
I don't play with chalk.
Lauren
I
said
like
she'd do it
chalk.
with rubber gloves on.
Chalk needs paper covering like crayons.
Yeah. But crayons feel nice.
Yeah, crayons are fine, but chalk
Get all over it.
feels like terrible. I really hate chalk. I love chalk, but I hate chalk. The episode's gonna be so short because all the rants we went on are no longer necessary.
Yeah, I don't remember anything that I said.
I'll macaroni.
I'm eating the macaroni.
All of it?
Yeah.
I want you.
Why? You only want macaroni because I'm having macaroni.
Everyone wants macaroni. Not you.
Fine.
Oh, play with your siblings before you don't want to anymore, because like it kind of sucks to play with my brother now. Like I really hate it, but it was fun at one point.
Hold on, Haley.
Sorry, I'm muted. I'm muted.
We have an example of a childlike figure over there. Isabella said this the last time we recorded this, but when you're babysitting and then you have to like play dolls with them, you're like, this used to be fun. So before you lose that common interest, play with your siblings.
It's hot. I told you it's hot. Why would you put it in your mouth? I said it was hot. You literally just watched me take it out of the microwave. It was sizzling. I'm gonna take it away.
These are the realities of growing up.
Neglect.
Yeah, when someone tells you your food is hot, they actually mean it's hot. Okay? They're not joking around. They're not playing pranks. If the food is hot, someone will tell you it's hot. So don't put it in your mouth. Else you're gonna have a burnt tongue.
That sucks.
Yeah, so reality, trust adults when they tell you your food is hot.
Oh, she's an
Call yourself
adult?
an adult.
She's an adult. She really grew up.
I'm a young adult.
Okay.
Told you, it's hot. Now you're just teasing me. I'm turning around.
Oh my.
Oh my.
You want to see what she's doing right now?
Yes.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh, Play-Doh.
It's not Play-Doh, it's sand slime.
Yeah, get it right, Lauren. It's sand.
Wow.
Oh my
Lauren,
gosh.
You just disrespected it to call it Play-Doh. It's sand slime.
Sorry, I couldn't tell.
Ooh,
But
that's
it's really fun.
disgusting. Oh, did I just squish your cake? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's a cupcake.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was a cupcake. Eat that though, or I'm gonna get in trouble that you didn't eat anything.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
that's
the
my
mac
job
and
for
cheese-
you.
It's still hot.
Okay, enough.
A reality of growing up is that everything is harder than it needs to be, and I just kind of hate it. Don't grow up. The end.
Good one. Gloria.
You're not cool. I see you, freaking Vanessa, with your in third grade, who like, I don't know, is wearing a short skirt and just kissed her boyfriend behind the jungle. You're not cute. You're not a grown. You really think no. Don't try it. Like the things that like not like the things that grown people do, like not trying to say like paying taxes, but like the things real teenagers do, you don't want to do. Like you don't, the people who grow up too fast, like might have a boyfriend in second grade, okay, whoops, whatever. Then in high school, they like did their high school when they were in junior high and not kindergarten, no, and like mid and intermediate school. We have intermediate school. It's 5th and 6th. It's weird. Just go with it. And so now when they get to high school, they gotta do what adults do. So now they're like, Vanessa, who was all innocent, is now, doing things. If you mature too fast, you run out of like legal maturities, and then you have to do the older ones,
Don't grow up. It's so
So just like either
that-
act like a year or two, don't act like a baby, but like act a year or two younger. Like if you still do something, that's fine, or act your exact age, because you'll just hit the stages when you hit them. Like I think our group of friends is like where you're supposed to be when you're 15.
I feel like
I agree.
most
We're
people
not
are
like
like
immature like
exceeding.
6-year-olds, but we're also not like pretending
Like,
we're
we-
25.
we go places with our friends.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're 15 going to parties with substances your mama wouldn't like, you miss some stages.
Yeah, you've missed a couple years, a couple of legal statutes, you know.
This is my cupcake. Cupcake. And I made
Wait,
it
that
for
just reminded me. What were you talking about the statutes about? Because that was something I said.
Buddhism.
Statue?
You were talking about Buddhism.
Oh my gosh!
Gloria's mom came in and was like, "Are you ready for these flowers to reincarnate?" I don't know.
And then I got
Yeah, my
confused
flowers
if
are, like,
Dharma and Karma
dead.
were Hinduism, and if the Enlightenment was just the philosophers, or if it was Buddhism,
Anglican Church.
Anglicanism, John Calvinism.
kind of dying, and my mom was like, are you waiting for them to reincarnate? And I was like, they have not completed their dharma.
So that happened. Okay. My last piece of advice is an old one, but a good one. Innocence is bliss, and your naivety is valuable. So don't be ashamed of it. and don't try to-
Naivety,
Naivety.
Jebediah, naivety.
I don't think naivety is a word.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it could be a name.
No, it's a word. Like if you are
Like an
naive,
old
it's like-
Irish name.
I'm
Genevieve,
googling.
naivety, you know.
Oh, adopt in the morning naivety.
It's a word. Listen.
Naivety.
It's not spelled. It's French.
Romeo and Juliet just keeps randomly playing, and I'm like, what's that noise?
There's words that are words, but there are words that should not be used, even though they are
Yeah,
words.
there are words that are physically dictionary words, but socially they're not a word.
Naivety is a word.
No.
Not socially.
I'm not that social. Oh, that's
You
right.
said naive. Yeah, you said naive to a group of people, and on a podcast anybody could open, and everybody judged you. It's not socially acceptable to say the word naivety.
Naivety is not acceptable.
Fine.
I would say, even though naiveness isn't a word, I would say naiveness.
I would just
you are
say
naive and it's fine and it's valuable and it's better than not being. So
just never say naivety again.
oh
Unless
my
you're a
gosh,
child.
fine, I'm getting attacked. Also, today at youth group, we are learning about how to simplify our life, and I could use some of that because the reality of growing up is your life gets really freaking complicated.
Are you learning at youth group the ability of a soul?
No, we learned that 2 weeks ago.
Am I the only one?
Just because I'm hungry and I want to go.
Okay, Haley, talk about your fish.
Oh, you know, kids, when you're little and small and fragile and tiny, you're going to need a companion that's the same. And therefore, you should get a fish.
Kind of a kitten.
There was some talk about dating a fish, and she goes, she was like on a Tinder profile. She was like,
Yeah,
"Send your
I want our podcast listeners to send us pictures of their fish, their age, and what makes them the best suitable fish.
And
Not
it's
for
like The
dating.
Bachelor, but for fish. Why are you trying to date a fish, Haley?
I'm not trying to date a fish. I'm just trying to find the most suitable one.
For you.
Society and
Are you
myself.
stealing people's fish?
Because Haley has killed like 17 fish from not feeding.
Oh, like 9.
Don't give her your fish.
Why?
Don't
I
have
got
a Tinder profile for your fish either.
I mean, that would be funny if someone found that. That'd be funny.
I bet there is one. People do some weird stuff on Tinder.
This is gonna be different from my advice that I gave last time, but I was just thinking about it. This year is a really important year to wear sunscreen because you're gonna get mask tan lines. So like, make sure you're just wearing your sunscreen.
Sunscreen makes you tan more.
Well, you should just be wearing sunscreen in general, but like, wear sunscreen, y'all.
Also, if you did not know, you're supposed to wear sunscreen in the winter too.
Yeah.
I wear sunscreen every day, but it's like the ones that are just built into a moisturizer. I don't put like banana boat on.
No, I just use like face sunscreen every day. But wear your sunscreen, guys. It's important.
Nobody wants skin cancer or sunspots or burnt skin or just overall damage. Put some sunscreen on. buddy.
Even if you don't wear sunscreen and one day you decide to go to the pool with Gloria and you wear sunscreen, but you still get a tan line, but after that, you don't really go outside. And now it's almost like a whole childbirth later of 9 months and you still have those tan lines on your back.
At Haley.
I'm not really sure what society can do for you.
Sunscreen makes you tan more. It doesn't stop you from getting tan. It stops you from getting burnt.
I swear it doesn't make you tan more.
I was told, well, it doesn't stop you from tanning. It makes you tan more because if you keep hold on. So let's say you go out in the sun for 5 hours, you get burnt. So then you're not tan, you're burnt. If you go out in the sun for 5 hours and keep reapplying the sunscreen, you get tan, not burnt. So like you tan more of than like. Does that make any sense? Instead of burning, you tan.
Yeah.
But I feel like sunburn is a vital part of society.
I get heat rash. I get
Yeah, me
sunburn.
too. I get all them.
Well,
I
like
get
having a
windburn.
doctor. It's having a doctor mom. I'm constantly told to reapply.
I
So
know.
like
Yeah, my mom.
it's and having melanin. Like you can still get skin cancer. Still wear sunscreen. I think Isabel has given up. I think.
She already gave her advice, so she might have gone to get food. But
Yeah.
Haley and Gloria, all you need your advices.
Kind of already said this, but my advice is don't try and grow up too fast or be an age you're not. You are this age. Do what is meant for that age. Or act like that age, but then maybe sleep with stuffed animals if you like that. Like that's all good and fine, but don't try and be this wild child because I promise it'll get you nothing in life. And when you're 48 and you have a bunch of kids and you have your like police record for intoxicated driving at age 17, and your kids can find it, you're not going to be too happy with yourself.
Yeah, it's just, Isabella did come.
If there's like not a good result of your actions,
I feel like everybody's scared of being made fun of for being too little, but you also will for like acting like you're too old, and people will be like, she didn't just do yes. So
I never got made fun. I've never been made fun of. Just PSA to anyone growing up. I've never been made fun of for not doing drugs. And also, do you really hang out with those people if they're making fun of you for not doing drugs?
For real.
This is dare.
yeah.
For sure.
All right, Haley, remember your advice. I remember it.
No, I don't. What was my advice?
Get a fish.
No, yeah. Get a fish. Be a vital part of society. Get sunburned once in a while and get a fish.
And feed it.
And feed it, but
Or
don't.
don't.
No,
Shut.
feed it. Pamper them.
Learn that you have to feed the fish and that you can't just like not feed them. They'll die.
But don't date your fish or anybody else's fish. Don't set up a Tinder profile.
No, you should do that. That would be funny.
Okay, so part 2 of us realizing. No, this is,
Part 2 to us realizing we haven't been recording. No, we have, but it'd be really funny.
yeah, at
I
the
would refilm
last
it. We have to
episode, we
pick
realized
another
we
episode.
hadn't been recording. Okay, it's fine. I deeply apologize. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe it. I'm so sorry. I'm mad. Okay, it's
What I
fine.
think would be really funny is if Lauren went back and looked at her files and realized that we were recording, so then we refilmed it for nothing.
I think if we were, you should take the first one.
We weren't. I don't think.
Because that one's raw, and we're not like, wait, what is it? What did I say last time?
111, make a wish, everybody. Even if it's not 111 where you are, you can still make a wish. I give you permission. The wish master, wish granter. No, I won't grant.
Don't do it.
Be quiet.
You
Okay.
sound like every 5th grader on their Snapchat story. Oh my gosh, Jacob, 1111, love him.
What?
You never saw
Didn't
people
you
post
just
their, like,
tell
what-
us to be juvenile?
Yes. Did you never see those like girls who would post like their significant other on 1111?
No, I was not on Snapchat. I saw him.
Real
yeah.
ones, no. Don't hit me up. Shut up.
Okay, love you, podcast Shotties. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wait, I forgot to talk about the whale story. I gotta tell the whale story. Okay.
Oh my god. We're gonna die.
Oh.
This is the death.
I forget how this came up in the last episode we recorded, but it came up, and this is important. So I had a dream last night, and I'm deathly afraid of whales. Oh, Haley showed us a picture of a shark eating a boat, and it was terrifying. But basically, I had a dream that we were in biology class, and they were showing us a movie about whales, and I started crying in real life because I was so terrified, because I was trying to close my eyes and not watch the movie. But since it was a dream, my eyes were already closed, so I couldn't stop seeing it, and I was so confused as to what was happening, and that was just traumatic. And then Isabella brought up her bunny fear,
I don't like it. Bunnies are
because
scary.
apparently when evolution gets discussed, she hears about bunnies.
I sure do.
So that's my traumatic story. Now we can really say goodbye after leaving you with that. Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.